Doctor. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to The Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real relevant and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. I am so glad to have here with me some trailblazers who lead. We're talking part 2 here, some more unsung heroes in this anthology that Kern Crockett-Cherry is the visionary behind. And I am so excited to have you all here, Nadia and Felice. How are you?
Good morning. Great.
Good morning to you all. I'm excited. I think we're going to have a great episode here. People always come in and they're going to chime in and share their thoughts, ask questions, share some positive comments. You all know the drill in the virtual studio audience. Go ahead and share this broadcast and let everybody benefit from what's going to be discussed today. So we're going to kick everything off, and I'm kind of like eager to jump right in. I really want to make sure that people don't miss a moment. Today we're going to be talking with a few of the trailblazers who lead their unsung heroes, and we have with us right now, Felice is here, and she's going to be talking with us, and we have Nadia, she's here, and I think a few more are going to be joining us, possibly even the visionary herself, Kern Crockett-Cherry. So looking forward to everybody that's going to be on in today's discussion. So as we kick things off, grab your virtual seats and let's get ready to start this show. I'm going to start with a quick commercial break, and when we come back, you're going to get to meet Nadia right when we return. I'm excited about today's show, and I'll tell you some other things I'm excited about too. All right. Where are you guys located, by the way? Tell me before we go to commercial.
Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Okay. How about you, Felice?
And I am in Gulfport, Mississippi.
Okay. So did you all know each other prior to getting into this anthology?
We did not.
And you know what? You all, everybody seems like you've known each other forever, but you literally met when Kern pulled you all together.
Correct.
Yes.
Interesting. I'd like to hear more about that. So I know I'm going to hear from Kern herself at some point, but I'd like to hear from you all when we come back from this commercial break, why you even became a part of this anthology. Okay.
Absolutely.
And then I'm also going to introduce you all and we'll go right into everything. But I'm eager to know that. We'll be right back.
I'm attorney Kenneth D. Snow, and at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or rideshare, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation, located at 6827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
All right, everyone, we're back and we're talking today with some of the trailblazers who lead, and this is volume 2, and they are unsung heroes. Once you hear their stories, you're going to know exactly why they're trailblazers who lead. But tell me before we get started, ladies, what made you all even be interested in being a part of this anthology? And let's go with you first, Felice, and then you, Nadia.
Absolutely. Well, for me, I can remember when Kern worked on her first Trailblazers anthology, and it was such a wonderful piece of work, especially for being her first visionary project. And I read everything that the women had to say, and it really resonated with me. And I've worked on a couple of projects since with her. And so when the second part of the Trailblazers came out, I knew that I had to be a part of such an amazing project.
That's good. Good. Okay, how about you, Nadia?
Yeah, so just being, of course, in the presence of Kern Crockett-Cherry, you will be inspired. You will be motivated to do some stuff that you would not think you were going to do. However, this wasn't one of those projects that I didn't think I was going to do. I actually wanted, I saw the call for it and I was like, Trailblazers Who Lead. I think I'm going to get in that. And so, like I said, after her mentoring us about being in a certain number of anthologies per year, I was like, I definitely have to put hers on the list, right?
Yes.
So,
Right.
got me in. Yeah.
That's good. I'm so glad that you all took that leap of faith and just locked arms with Kern and went on this adventure with her, because I feel like any of these anthologies, I've been a part of 3 and they have all become best-selling books as well. But it is a process. People don't know how much work it takes to actually become an author, to devote that time and effort and making sure what you're going to say so that you're not steering people in the wrong direction. It's a lot that goes with that. Do you all agree?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, okay. And I'm actually writing 2 other books right now. And I'm like, okay, this is the whole thing. I need to schedule an appointment with myself and
Absolutely.
make sure that I officially have, this is for the writing hour. And my daughter, she does that. She schedules her own appointment with herself. And she's like, Mom, today, this week, actually, I'm writing a chapter in my book. So she's writing a book right now. And she has 17 chapters written. I'm like, girl, 17 whole chapters.
Wow.
Okay.
That is
How many more do
awesome.
you want before you get the book completed? She said, Mom, it has to be at least 40 or 50. I was like,
Ooh.
girl, that right there will take me my
Wow.
whole lifetime. It's amazing. It's amazing, actually. Okay, so I want to go ahead and get started and introduce this dynamic trailblazer as we kick today's episode off. Nadia Lindsay Francois. I just love it. I love it. Francois is a serial entrepreneur with a heart for people, a hairstylist by trade. Nadia holds current licenses in cosmetology and barbering, a BS in business administration and certification in women's entrepreneurship. The Louisiana native began her entrepreneurial journey at a very early age. I'll let her talk to you about that. And she continues to thrive and expand in her beauty endeavors. She'll talk about some of the things that she owns as well, and how she ultimately in 2013 decided to pursue her dream of giving back to the community. We're going to learn how she gives back to the community as well. So I am pleased to introduce this particular trailblazer because in 2020, this trailblazer stepped out on faith and became the channel owner of What's Your Superpower TV, WYSP. What's Your Superpower TV, which is also houses her talk show by the same title on Exposure TV Network. And she interviews all kinds of powerful women on her platform. This woman is a force to be reckoned with. Welcome, Nadia Francois, to the Kim Jacobs Show.
Hello, everyone. Thank
Hello.
you for having me.
Oh, we're so glad to have you today. Now, listen, I am eager to hear more about your chapter in the book. Let's talk about that. And then we're going to talk a little bit about your community service, your television network, and everything that you have going on. I see the visionary backstage. Wait. Can I pull you in, visionary, before we get started? Give me a thumbs up. All right. But you know what, Kern, before I pull you in, I see it. All right, I'm pulling you in now. We're gonna get you in there. How are you today? Before we formally get started here, I want to make sure we say hello to you, Kern. How are you?
Hello. Hey, everybody.
Yes,
Great. I am fine. Glad to be here.
We're so glad to have you here, and thank you for being the visionary behind Trailblazers, who lead the Volume 2, The Unsung Heroes. And we're getting ready to hear from one of the authors, Nadia. We just introduced her. So we're going to go ahead and hear from you now, Nadia. Tell us about your chapter in the book.
Yes. So my chapter in the book is called Chronicles of a Boss, Bold Optimist Strategizing for Success. So, of course, there are certain characteristics in being a trailblazer and being a leader. And sometimes when we are brought up, our gifts aren't shown all the way yet, right? Okay. So little things are peeking through, like that boldness and that bossiness and stuff like that. And sometimes it's portrayed as something bad, right? And actually, those are qualities of a leader. And if you grow in them and mature in them, then you will find that out, that it is all a part of what you need in order to lead. And so that is pretty much what my chapter is about. It also tells about my journey of raising my 4 sons as a single parent, along with being an entrepreneur. So get the book.
That's right. Okay, yeah, get the book, y'all. And right now you can actually get the ebook, which Trailblazers Who Lead Part Volume 2, right on Amazon. So you can get that ebook download. Just go right to Amazon, and I'm going to pull up just so you would see what the images that you're looking for. Don't just get any old book. Okay, get this version of the book. There are a lot of different things out there, but this is the one that you're looking for right here, with the woman with the curvy hips and the big hair and the whole cape. We're going to learn more about from what the vision was behind that image alone, right, when we hear from Kern Cherry. So Nadia, I want to make sure that when people are getting to know you, you said you're a single mother raising 4 sons. Because I have 4 sons, I know how challenging that can be. It's not for the faint of heart at all. Talk to us about raising 4 sons. Were you by yourself? Is the dad? What's going on with the dad?
So I was divorced early on in I was married like 8 years, but
Okay.
I got married early at an early age. And so we kind of grew apart, of course, but we had all those kids, right? But of course, I had to grab a hold and kind of mature, because of course their father, he just left us like, bye. And so it was really hard just even grasping that someone can abandon their kids, their wife, their whole house, right? And never come back. And so it took me a little bit to really get functional and wrap my mind around it. Of course, get over the grieving process of going through a divorce, the anger, healing from all of that. But I actually look at it as a blessing, because had I not gone through all of that, I wouldn't be the woman that I am today. And so I don't thank my ex-husband, because, I'm not all right. As the people say, I'm not all right. But I do thank God for bringing me through all that I had to go through, bringing my children through, because at that point, it took me a little while to get to the point. But when I got to the point of trusting God and believing Him for the promises on my life, it changed my life, because I dedicated my sons to Him.
Mm-hmm.
I dedicated my sons to Him, and everything that I put in them was from God. Mm-hmm. And so now today, my children are 20, 19, and 15. Right. Mm-hmm. And so just getting to that, it was days where I thought they weren't ever going to grow up. You just so frustrating and stressful, but God, when they actually grow up and show what you have instilled in them and what God is pulling out of them, and living life, and that continues to motivate me to this day. But, like I said, if I hadn't gone through all that, I would not be the trailblazer that you see here today.
Yes, I am so grateful that God brought you through and brought you out still smiling, hair slayed with beads, like you straight on an island over there. You working it, baby. Like you just having an island experience. So God really has smiled on you, and I'm grateful for that. I see your comments coming in. I see my sister. Let me put it in a different view because it's going over your mouth. Okay, powerful testimony, she said. And thank you so much, Felicia, for being on today. Actually, guys, my sister also has a travel agency company too. If you all are ever looking to learn how you can partner with someone and do your own travel experiences, definitely reach out to her and let her know that I sent you. All right. Trusting and believing God for the promises on my life. Everything changed when I put my children in God's hands. My God, that's just a powerful quote that I captured from what you were saying. You raised your 4 sons by yourself. And listen, if you all want to stay connected with Nadia, you can do that by going to NadiaFrancois.com. That's for the podcast listeners, but it's NadiaFrancois.com because you'll never figure out that spelling. That's why I spelled it for you. Okay.
Right.
My mom is on. She said, "Good morning, Kim," and to the Kim Jacobs guest. Hello, Pamela Howard. Oh, my mom talking to other people in the studio audience, y'all. So she already can see who else is sitting in their virtual seats. And she's like, hey, Pam, I'm down here, baby. How you doing? Okay, Mom, glad you enjoying your experience. Okay. Very glad to have you here. Let's see. Chronicles of a Boss. You want to check that chapter out in Trailblazers Who Lead. I see you, Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson, you're going to be coming on soon. And thank you for being in the studio audience today. He said, "This is awesome." Vera Thomas, one of y'all Trailblazers, said, "Hello, ladies." And Pamela Howard, our luxury event planning specialist. "Kern, this woman knows how to plan events. She can turn a cucumber into something that I have never seen that looks like something. I guess heaven might have some cucumbers that look like that because she do her thing." But anyway, she's our event planning specialist, Pamela Howard. Glad to see you today. I see all of your comments coming in, and we'll keep popping them up throughout today's broadcast. So share this broadcast with everyone. Tell us one more thing too about your nonprofit organization and the TV station and network that you have. Talk to us about that, Nadia.
Yeah, so I'll start with the TV. So in 2020, I launched a book called What's Your Superpower Anthology. And that anthology brought about the TV show, right? So once the anthology was released, I was approached by the Exposure Network to make a show from the book, right? And I was like, oh my God. I hate public speaking.
So you out there now. You out there.
Right?
You out there.
I'm like, God, you sure? I'm over there. Like, I told a lady, I'm like, I'm gonna call you right back. I need to pray right quick.
I have to think about this. And now you out there.
I'm like, God, is this what you're telling me to do? And he was like, if you don't move. And so I hurry up and called the lady back. I was like, okay, because that is what the next step you would want your book to go in, right? So I didn't want to miss that opportunity being scared. And so, of course, I tackled my fears and took it on, came up with the show. We had the show first, and then I progressed into the channel where I also have other shows by other content creators on the channel. Okay. And so then, it's just been moving forward after that. The Power Conversations podcast and magazine were born in 2021 from that. And that was just from the overflow of interviews I was getting for TV, right? Excellent. And so I was listening to these ladies, and I couldn't really, you can't put everybody on the TV. So I was like, I cannot waste these interviews, though. They can help someone. And so I decided to put the podcast on, which is also available on the Exposure podcast community. So we have so much going on as far as getting our people visible, our entrepreneurs, our authors, our coaches, our business leaders. And so that's what the podcast and the magazine is for, to bring that visibility and to also show our newbies, our new entrepreneurs, our new authors, what visibility does and how it helps your business and your brand. And so that is that part. And then with my nonprofit. So as I stated, raising those 4 boys was very hard. And I'm a hairstylist. And so on Friday nights, of course, it used to be so packed. And I raised my children in the shop because I owned my salon for 15 years.
Right.
So I raised them in there, beating them all over the clients, taking them in the back, snatching them and all that. And so my clients kind of became that motivation. My older ladies, they're like, they're not going to be small forever. Just don't, just keep doing what you're doing, but don't
Good.
stretch this. You know, they were like my coaches, just coaching me through this parenthood, this motherhood. And so some of my younger clients, those were the ones that came on Friday nights. So those were like my classmates, my schoolmates, people like that. So of course we get really down to the nitty gritty, talking about all kind of stuff, including raising our children, relationships, you know, all kind of
Good.
stuff. And so we were talking, we used to call it Freaky Friday because we'll get our somebody will bring daiquiris because I'll already be
Okay. Okay. So y'all getting down.
Yeah, we get in there, we just bash everybody, the kids, the men, everybody.
That's hilarious.
And so we created the Sisters of Empowerment. We created that organization from that because most of us were Eastern Stars. We had elevated as Eastern Stars a few years back, and so we were already connected through that. And it was like, come on, let's do something a little more, you know, because you got to wear white, you got to like be real pristine.
Oh yeah, you got to be real pristine.
Trying to be a little wild because I was still in my 20s.
That sounds amazing, Nadia. Amazing.
We created that networking group, and we've been going since 2013. And throughout that, we have a Mr. and Miss Empowerment pageant for the youth.
Nice.
We also started Domestic Violence Awareness Week, where we teach people how to know the signs, to help, to listen, you know, the different things with domestic violence. And then about 5 years ago, we implemented Women's Empowerment Week, which is a huge part of this month, March. And we host it every year to form a collaborative and unity effort among women and women-owned businesses, right? And so each business will host an event, or if they have an event that they are hosting during that week, they can add it to our lineup. We call it a festival of events. And so they can add it to our lineup, and we promote them all together as Women's Empowerment Week. And then, you know, that gets the support spread, that gets the networking spread.
You are a one-stop shop over there, and it's a blessing is what's happening. Let me ask you, Nadia, because I want to also continue on here throughout today's broadcast, but let me ask you, can they get all of the information about the nonprofit, about the network, about your chapter in the book, everything at NadiaFrancois.com?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Listen, everybody, make sure that you all go and visit NadiaFrancois.com. This powerhouse has so many different hats that she's wearing, and you don't want to miss any of the things that she's offering. Right after this commercial break, I do want to hear from you for a moment, our visionary behind this anthology, and we're going to hear something about why you chose Trailblazers and why some of the women that you actually decided to let be a part of this anthology. I'm knowing a lot of people probably were just scratching at the doors, but you had to narrow it down. So I want to hear that, Kern Cherry. And this is her logo, K Connections, y'all. K Connections is what Kern Cherry, the butts in the seat queen, is known for. And we'll talk to her right after we come back after this quick commercial break. Nadia, thank you so much. We'll be right back, everybody.
It's not just another day. It's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
All right, everyone, and we are back. We're back here on the Kim Jacobs Show, and we're talking with some trailblazers who are leading this thing called life. We have the visionary herself today on this episode. Now, you're going to meet a lot of them across the time that you'll be tuning in here, but with this being Women's Empowerment History Month, I really thought it would be great to have some wonderful trailblazers come on. So Kern Cherry, I am going to introduce you at least formally so people know who you are here. Kern Cherry is called the Butts in the Seats Queen. She's a speaker, coach, entrepreneur, and guess what? Not just one, not just two, not 7, not 8, not 12, but 15 time #1 best-selling author. She's the producer and creator of Power Up Summit and Level Up Summit. She's co-founder and director of Success Women's Conference with over 17,000 virtually that attend and almost 1,500 attend in person. She's the owner of PRN Home Care for 25 years now and K Connections. She is the visionary and the author of Make It Happen. She's the visionary of Trailblazers Who Lead 1 and 2. And she is currently looking for, I'll let her tell you what she's looking for. I'm going to let her tell you what she's looking for instead of me just spilling all the beans. Welcome, Kern Cherry, to the Kim Jacobs Show. How are you?
I am fine. I am always excited to be on your show, Kim. Lots of energy. And I need that at 10 in the morning for me. So love that, love that, love that. So I am doing fine. I am so happy to be here.
Well, I'm so glad to have you. Tell us why Trailblazers? Because that's a really powerful title, Trailblazers Who Lead, not just Trailblazers, but these Trailblazers, and they lead, and unsung heroes. There's a lot to that. Tell us why.
Well, first of all, Trailblazers was my first anthology that I did and that I was the visionary of. I think it was my third that I actually did. And I realized, anthologies are all about collaboration. So God actually gave that to me in 2019 as I was sitting and writing and trying to figure out what my next move would be right after Success Women's Conference. That was something that he dropped in my spirit. This is what you need to do. Now, I had asked him about, my next step, thinking, events, which he gave me Power Up. And then out of that came Level Up. So I was, me talking to God, you thinking, okay, we on the right track here. I can do events. I've been doing events for over 20 plus years now. But then he dropped the book anthology in there, and I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure you got the right person? Because remember, I'm that person who's like, I don't really write. It's something I do when I need to do it, but it's not something that, like I'm a journalist or something. So he dropped that and gave that to me. And then he pushed me to do it. And so by doing that, he sent me somebody that would just push me until we got Trailblazers Who Lead 1 out. And so I realized then that it wasn't about me. It was about the women in Trailblazers. So Trailblazers, the reason why behind that is because I found a lot of people were doing a lot of amazing things, but you really didn't know they were doing it. Even if you knew them, you just didn't know all the things that they were doing that was impacting the community and ultimately the world. And so thus the unsung hero part. So you have a lot of these ladies, especially in this one, who are doing listen to Nadia, listen to her.
That's one person. That's one.
That's one.
And how many do you have in the anthology?
It's 19 of us total in this anthology. And so, and with what they're doing, you just heard her roll off about 10 things. You'll hear Felice roll off many things as well. Yeah. And that's because they're doing so many amazing things. And so, I had some of the women that came on that I just kind of asked, we talked, and I thought great fit for the anthology as well. Some of them were in my other anthology, Make It Happen, as well. And I already knew what kind of person they were and what they were bringing to the table. So it really is a great opportunity for people to share and take their message to the world. It is our obligation to give testimonies, and I think people just forget that. But it's actually in the scripture that you're supposed to testify about what God is doing in your life. And that's what sharing in the anthology allows you to do. It's just a little bit about what you do. I always say we have about 40 stories that we should be sharing out to the world, because somebody is waiting to hear your message. Somebody is waiting Either there's a life that's going to be saved,
That's
or
right.
there's somebody's business that's going to be saved. There's somebody that's going to benefit from hearing what you're doing or what you've been through. So if it's, people write it right, you always hear what they're going through and now where they're at and just some of the things they're doing.
That's right. You are you're not only just you're known as the butts in the seat queen. That's because you know how to fill like stadiums and stuff. You know how to bring people in, and they can benefit greatly from the information and the people that you expose people to. But what I hear today from you is the importance of letting each person's value and their stories get out to the world, not just saying, okay, this is a opportunity for me to just get all of these people to come and follow me, but you're taking these individual people's gifts and talents and exposing them to so many thousands of people. When did you know that this was what God wanted you to be doing? Because this is a special gift.
Well, I've always enjoyed doing events and making sure that people show up. You can have an event, right? That's what cracks me up when people put events together. You can have an event and wind up with 20 people in the room, but you were expecting 150.
Right.
You can have an event and say, I'm going to have 300, and you wind up with less than 100. I've just been fortunate that I have this focus where I push to get people in the room just as much as I push to get the right people on the stage as well. But it's in recent years that I just realized, my whole purpose is to help people create a stage so people can actually share their message, so that they can actually get out there, become more visible. I feel like the pandemic has made a lot of us realize how we're so focused on the local market that we forget there are other people in the world that can literally benefit from what you have. And so it's literally opened us up to the world market. So how much more do you need to focus on your visibility and what you have to offer? I often tell coaches and people like that, sure, you got a great coaching program and you should be coaching millions of people. But how many people know that you have it? What are you doing to get yourself out there? Oh, you've done a few podcasts and this and that, but you need to triple or multiply that times 10 to really get your message out so people know what you have to offer. And that is just one of the things that you need to be considering when you're trying to increase your visibility, because at the end of the day, visibility equals credibility, which turns to profitability. So if you want to make money, you got to be visible. People don't buy from people they don't know. It's just like, if you consider the fact that most of the time when we buy something, even when we're thinking about trying something new, we'll go back to what we know. Example, tennis shoes. Nike. Look, I don't know that tennis shoe over here, some off-brand, Sheba or whatever. You know what? I need something really good for my foot. I'm gonna go with Nike. I'm gonna find out what shoe helps me with walking and things like that, because I know the brand. At least they're gonna stand behind their brand. That's just the way it is. I've seen it in my home care business. People will choose a business that they have seen their name over and over and over. They may not know nothing about that business, but because that business has made sure they're in magazines, they're on TV and all that stuff, all of a sudden they feel like they know. So,
right. I do know. And you said credibility and profitability. What did you say?
Visibility equals credibility. So it ups your credibility level. Visibility equals credibility equals profitability.
which equals profit. Okay, which equals. I wanted to quote it exactly as you, which equals profitability. And this is good.
Yeah.
So these are some great tips that you're sharing, and I'm just capturing what you're sharing here. I'm over here like typing. Okay. So visibility equals credibility, which equals profitability.
That is correct.
That's so good. Okay.
Yes. Actually, Level Up, the first conference I did, that was the theme.
Okay.
Visibility equals credibility equals profitability. And it really does, if you think about it, because the more I see you, you're going to become credible to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to start thinking, well, she's the expert in that area, right? Every time I see her, she's talking about visibility. Or every time I see her, she's talking about creating events. And now I know she's been doing it for 20 years. And by the way, I'm 16 times #1 bestseller thanks to Trailblazers.
That's right. That just happened this past week. So yes.
Yes. So it's really, the more people see you, the more they feel like they know you. They may have never met you, never talked to you, any of that. But because you're making yourself visible, you have your speaking points. You're making yourself known as the expert in your arena. Now I feel like I know you. So who am I going to call when I want to go visible? I'm going to call that person that's talking about it all the time and talking about the clients they serve. And then I'm going to go and look at their site and start to look and say, well, who are their clients and what are they saying? Thus comes the profit, the money afterwards, And so how do you get there? You got to make sure that you're walking in your talents and gifts.
Okay.
Proverbs 18:16 says, when you actually, and I'm just summarizing, working in your talents and gifts, you will be seated at the table of great men. And so when you tune in, just like Kim with this show, I mean, it's obvious this is a gift of hers, right? And so she's got to draw in people. People are going to want to be on this show. I often use Tom Brady, who just, let's face it, he started out as the second string quarterback for the Patriots and wound up taking the #1 spot and going to the Super Bowl with what now 7 rings, right? But this man is gifted. You could just tell, okay, how is he different from any other quarterback? Well, it's his gift. It's his gift.
It's what God gave him to do.
Hey, and he recognized that. Gifts and talents. How do you know it's your gifts and talent? First of all, ask God, and you can just solve the problem right off the bat.
God, seriously, is this for me? Or is this like me thinking it's for me, but it's really not.
Exactly.
Okay.
But if you would do it for free, I can guarantee you that's probably a gift or talent that you have been born with. And so therefore, you're going to make money at it. Now, some of us are scared to charge, but we got to get past that. So anyway, but that's what I love about these women that are part of the Trailblazer anthology, Kim. A lot of them are finding or working in their gifts. Nadia talked about that. People think, oh, well, she's arrogant. Oh, she's just bossy. Oh, she's too visual. And she's walking in her gifts.
That's all.
You might be afraid of it, but I say remove those people from your circle and keep walking in your gifts.
Well, y'all heard it. Y'all heard it right here from, how you be like, you heard that? How people say, don't say you heard it from me, but guess what? This is something you can say you heard right here on the Kim Jacobs Show from Kern Cherry herself. If people are trying to prevent you from using your gifts and your talents, then remove those people because they just may not understand what God gave you to do, but it's still for you to do. So make sure you don't let anybody block your blessing. I'm just adding to what she said. Okay, listen. My sister Felicia said, hey, I hate to drop, but we'll catch the remaining of the replay. This 30 minutes has been a blessing. She's on her lunch break. She works for a corporate company and she's on her lunch break. She said, Lord have mercy, this has been a blessing. Thank you so much, Felicia. Be sure to walk in your Oh, I said in your talk and gifts. I don't type. I'm trying to listen and type. I'm like, what am I doing over here? But anyway, walking, talking, all of that, everything. Visibility equals credibility, which equals profitability. Let me see if any other comments came in. I want to make sure that I don't overlook anyone. Nikki Ziegler, she said, hello, everyone. Herpreneur Network. You all know about Nikki Ziegler, and that's Herpreneur Network. Make sure you stay connected with her. I love the logo and the name. Thank y'all for being here. Is what Kern said. A lot of people have been chiming in. Keep your comments flowing. Powerful testimony. Keep all of your comments flowing in. We're going to continue on with this broadcast. Kern, how can people stay connected with you?
So kerncherry.com is the you can find most of everything there. Also, we'll be talking level up, because guess what? Today we are dropping the iconic speaker that will be speaking at Level Up. So you want to go to time2levelup.com, time2levelup.com, because we are dropping it like it's hot today. That's all I'm gonna say. You gotta register. Registration
I'm so excited,
free.
y'all. Now I'm gonna tell you. I'm just gonna go and show you for a second. When she says it, she's so modest and calm and everything. So you're like, okay, what is time2levelup.com? Let me just show y'all a couple of things that be happening over there with Time to Level Up. Okay, this is let me find this. Where is it? Because this be some good stuff that's happening here, and I'm like, Kern be downplaying it. This is Level Up. March 25th through the 27th, 2022. And now these are the kind of powerful celebrity international speakers that be at the conference. They don't be playing. Your life will never be the same when you go to a Level Up conference that's hosted by Kern Cherry. Okay. So it's free to register. You don't want to have anything else on your schedule, because you're not going to want to miss one speaker, not one. You're going to want to have your notepad and just take all kind of notes and clear your schedule like you're at an international conference. So go to timetolevelup.com and register for free for this event.
And Kim, I'm going to just say this. The speaker that we're getting ready to announce, she's not on the website. We are updating it today. So you're going to see it once we update that website.
I'm about to lose it. Y'all gonna make me lose it. I know that's like my song. I don't even know
and Kim, you gonna know her, but you gonna be like, oh Lord, she's she comes from a world-renowned singing group that I know Kim grew up dancing and singing too. And then she had her own personal career that she had behind the group that she sung for. So, it's some of those songs, they'll take you back down memory lane.
Okay.
In addition to that, if you scroll down, you will see a new group that's coming out called Chapel Heart. They are three Black women singing country music, y'all.
Get out of here.
Yes,
We going there. Wait a minute. We got to go over there. I'm a visual person.
Yes. If y'all know Tabitha Brown, Tabitha Brown was here in Biloxi back in 2019. You can now not book Tabitha Brown. That's how big she is. And we wanted to bring these three Black women, before they blow up all the way in Nashville. They're from Mississippi originally. Louisiana, spent a lot of years over touring in Louisiana and other places. Now they're traveling around the nation and singing their music. When you hear them, just remember the picture, because they won't sound the way they look. But they are amazing women. Come from the
I can't wait.
Yes, and they're
I'm so excited. I don't know what to do.
They're gonna be in person. They're gonna be here in person.
Y'all, don't miss this opportunity. Time to level up. The number 2, levelup.com. Go register for this free event and make sure you check it out later today to see who the main line header speaker is going to be that is going to be a mind-blowing experience. And I also want to make sure, I'm so excited. All right, so right after this commercial break, Felice, we get ready to come and talk to you and hear some powerful points from you and what you're going to be talking about in your chapter. Okay, so we'll be right back, everybody, right after this commercial break. Okay, we'll be right back.
I'm attorney Charles Everett. I started out representing insurance companies until my father was seriously injured at work. 4 of his fingers were amputated. Our family went through a lot, so I know what you're going through as an injured worker. If you've been hurt on the job, call me now. I'll fight to get the workers' comp benefits you may deserve. I'll fight for you like family. Put my experience to work for you. Call 704-457-5000, the first call for injured workers.
All right, everyone, I am back and I am so happy to get ready to announce this beautiful queen, a trailblazer who leads, and she is an unsung hero that you all are going to know a lot more about after today. Felice Gillum is a #1 international best-selling author, advocate, and the executive director of USO Gulf Coast, a nonprofit agency dedicated to keeping service members connected to their families, home, and their country throughout their service. Again, they are dedicated to keeping service members, which you know how important that is right now, service members connected to their families, home, and country throughout their service, having displayed more than 2 decades of outstanding professionalism in the arenas of organizational leadership, instructional facilitation, and a plethora of philanthropic efforts. Felice has proven her expertise to be essential in the growth and functionality of establishments, displaying high proponents of Thrive potential. I am so excited to be able to introduce to you all this woman that has over 5,000 social media followers. And she is definitely a woman that is a motivator, empower, and she's an inspiration, a light to this world. Felice, welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show.
Thank you, Kim. It's always a pleasure to be here.
I'm so glad to have you here. Tell us about your chapter in the book.
So this particular anthology is really special to me because it touches on probably one of the most powerful missions that God has ever put me on, and that is my foster care and adoptive journey. And it highlights kind of what myself, my husband, and my family have gone through over the past few years as a foster adoptive family.
Okay.
And it highlights how our community can pull together to support our orphans and our children that are in very special needs cases, support them as a village way more than we typically have. Our children are at a huge disservice. We're in a very broken system, and most of us acknowledge that, but most of us are not doing our part to fill the gap and really be the village that we should be. So this kind of walks through my life of something that traditionally people probably would not have seen me doing, but something that God called me on to do very early in my life, and just walks through me filling that mission.
Well, that is a honorable mission for sure, to say the least. I would like to know, how do you encourage other people to get involved in foster care help and being able to be an advocate for children that need this type of assistance?
I find that a lot of it is education. We are just so misinformed about how many children there really are in the foster care system and what we can do to make a difference in their lives. So many times people just assume, oh, well, children go with their grandparents or they go with aunts and uncles when situations are not ideal. in the household, but that's really not the case. Most states suffer from an overwhelming number of children in their foster care system, and ours in Mississippi is by far one of the worst with statistics of children in the foster care system. So we really have to just rally together as a community to see how we can go about changing these. There are churches, particularly along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. We've had several churches that have come together to say, hey, we want to do exactly what God has called us to do in his word, and that's to take care of our widows and our orphans. And they really have made it their mission to do so. And I would like to see the African-American community and other minorities embrace that just as much, because they are our children that are out there suffering. And so we need to be in a position to where we can provide them the resources that we have out of our own neighborhoods.
So this is interesting because when I'm talking to you, I immediately think back to when I was younger. Along the years, I wanted to adopt a child, and I've always wanted to just adopt a child. So what I've done is I adopted a child in Africa. And so we keep connected as a family, and we send what we're allowed to send through the mail, hair bows and different things. It has to be in certain packaging and stuff like that. But I would be interested, I'm sure I'm speaking on behalf of some of the viewers here today. How simple is the process to become a foster parent?
It depends on what state you're in, honestly. Mississippi has made a lot of great strides to try to streamline the process to not make it burdensome for foster parents. But honestly, it does depend on the state. And again, like I said, we have a very broken system. And social workers are very much underpaid for the amount of stress and the workload that they have. So, we're in a very strained system. So we do ask if it's in your will to be a foster parent, and it is a calling. I'll be very, very honest about that. If God didn't call you to do it, or if you didn't have that burning desire to do it, kind of like you just said, Kim, I kind of always want to adopt, then it's not for you. Because you have to be able to be in a position to where you can be sensitive to the trauma and everything that comes along with so many of these children. It's not just like raising, your own biological child that's been in the home with you. They come with a significant amount of trauma, and you have to be able to.
You're freezing a little bit, Felice, but what I'm gonna do is you're freezing, so I'm gonna have you go. Can you hear me? Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, I'm gonna pull everybody back up, and I just want to make sure, Felice, you go out and come back in, only because you're actually freezing, and I think it's glitching too much, and I know you won't want that to be the case. So what I'm going to do, everybody, is I'm going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to either continue on with hearing some more of what Felice is sharing, or we'll continue on with the rest of this episode with these trailblazers who are leading, and they are unsung heroes that's making a difference. So we'll be right back right after this commercial break.
Nothing says I love you more than final expense insurance whole life protection with funeral advocacy nationwide, saving you and your family 30 to 80% off funerals and cremations. Nothing says I love you more than Get Insured Solutions, LLC. GetInsured.Solutions. 704-499-3616.
All right, everyone. And we are back. We're going to pull Felice back in. I do want to just share one more quick commercial, and then we're going to pull her right back in as we come back from that commercial.
Ham Funeral Home has been serving the Cabarrus County in North Carolina and surrounding communities for more than 9 years. Our staff of funeral directors are dedicated to providing the very highest quality of service and continue to be well respected throughout the communities we serve. Our professionals are caring, experienced professionals who understand that each family is unique and has personal requests and traditions. These requests and traditions are the utmost importance to our staff of licensed funeral directors. From the initial care to aftercare, you can entrust your loved one and arrangements to Lamb Funeral Home.
All right, everyone, and we are back, and I see you, Felice. So I think it's working better now. Let's see. Yes. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. My internet just completely dropped.
Don't worry about that, because guess what? That's what I was saying on one of the episodes. I said all of the major broadcasters got mega funding and backing. They have different people glitching and stuff on the show, and it's all, it is what it is. You can't do anything about it except just keep it moving. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to keep it moving. And I'm excited for you to be here talking about your chapter and foster care, how important it is to reach out to these families. But you were saying it's a calling. So talk to us more.
It is. It's definitely, I found that most people that are genuinely devoted to being foster and adoptive parents, and to doing it well, are those people that tell me, I've always wanted to do that, or that's something that I've always felt a burning desire to do. And you have to be that person, because these children many times come with a significant amount of trauma, and you have to be able to help them to unpack that, and also realize that it's going to come with a lot of self-sacrifice from you. And that's why I said it's really not something that's for everybody, because you do have to be prepared to sacrifice yourself, your own feelings. I have people say all the time, oh, I can never be a foster parent because I love them too much. And I'm like, really? That's what you want to do. Like, we want you to love them. We want you to love them too much. Oh, I won't be able to give them back. Well, it's not a picnic. And, nobody wants to give children back after they've raised them like they're their own and taken care of them and nurtured them. There's an extreme mourning process that comes with children leaving your home that you have taken care of like they're your own. And I talk about that a little bit in the book. But you have to be ready to say, I am going to do those things because it's the right thing to do. And this is God's appointment for me. And you just have to be obedient in that. I've prayed so many days to be released from this assignment, because it really is difficult, and it takes a lot on you emotionally. But God says it's not time. And so I keep on until He does release me. And I pray that comes sooner than later, because, sometimes you do have to come to the fact that mentally it does take a huge toll on the foster parents and the whole family in itself, the children that are in the home, everyone. So, but it is definitely a calling, and I encourage people to be prayerful through the process, and not just do it thinking you're going to get a check, because honestly, it's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money at all, that they give foster parents to be able to care for children. But it definitely has to be all about doing the work of God, what He has commanded us to do multiple times in His Word, and being that village that we saw that our grandparents had and our great grandparents. We've got to start back being that for our own children.
I am so in love with what you're sharing. And I pray that if you all would just reach out to Felice and learn more about, from a passionate foster care parent, what you can do to get involved. Foster care, in her opinion, is about doing the work of God. And she talks heavily about this even in her chapter. And then also just being a foster parent is definitely a calling, is what she shared. Churches being able to come together and make it a mission to take care of not only the widows, but the children that are in need of homes, Felice is sharing. So how can people stay connected with you, Felice?
I am on all social media platforms. You can find me on all of them by my name, doing a search for my name, Felice Kelly Gillum. But you can also email me at BeTheLight@FeliceKellyGillum.com. I love to connect with new people. So please find me on social media, or feel free to send me an email.
At Felice, Be the Light at Felice what?
FeliceGillum.com.
Okay. And is it Kelly with the E-Y or L-L-Y?
Just LLY.
.com. Okay, I want to put that up. So if you all want to email Felice, definitely just email her, be the light at FeliceKellyGillum.com. She's willing to respond to these emails. Ask her some questions. How do you become a foster parent? How do you go get through these trials and tribulations? If you have somebody that's willing to kind of walk you through that process, don't miss out on that opportunity. I'm putting it right here in the comments section for you as well. Felice, thank you so much for sharing that information.
Thank you for having us.
I want to get a closing comment from each of you too, real quick. Okay. So definitely let's do that. I do need to put this up because today is my daughter's birthday. If I don't do that, she's gonna be like, well, she wouldn't be like anything because actually, we asked her, what do you want for your birthday? Guess what she said? Mom, I already have everything I need.
Aww.
I was like, and you know what? It was prophesied to us by evangelist Clara Walton. She really is a prophetess that can prophesy, and she be giving dates and everything. And she know God when God is speaking to her. So she came and prophesied over me at our church service one time and said that I had the spirit of Deborah growing in my womb. Well, I was like, I have 4 sons. There's no spirit of no female anything growing in my room. And I whispered it to her because I didn't want, I was like, the people gonna be looking at me. I'm not pregnant, And she was like, I said, come here, mother. I said, I'm not pregnant. We're not even trying to have any more kids right now. We know because people gonna be thinking. And she said, if I be a woman of God, and she yelled out louder. I was like, huh? And she said, and I know that I am. The spirit of Deborah is growing in your womb, and she is going to come forth as a daughter, right? Needless to say, we were 3 days pregnant at that time and didn't even know it. And the spirit of Deborah really was growing in my womb because this young lady, Jayla Jacobs, our daughter, is a young lady that wants to win as many souls to Christ as possible. It's her mission in life. She's a gardener. She does fishing and she animates, and you name it, she does it. She is just a joy and grows all of these things herself in her own garden. But today is her birthday, and I just want to say happy birthday to our princess Jayla Jacobs, who is one of the greatest joys in the world. And I can tell you, if you would, please just subscribe to her YouTube channel. I put it in the link. It's Wonder Beast, and what she does on her YouTube channel is she animates. So I'd love for y'all to go and check out. She does it from scratch. All of these characters, she makes those from scratch. It's a blank canvas, and she sits there and draws it. And on her YouTube channel, which I think she has like 300 and something subscribers right now. Please go and subscribe to her channel. It's over there in the comments section. We greatly appreciate it in honor of her birthday. All right. So closing comments, everybody. Any closing comment?
Yes. I want to say, don't let anyone tell you what you cannot do. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you.
Thank you, Jesus. All things through Christ who strengthens you. Vera Thomas also said, Felice, that you are doing an awesome God-driven work, and it takes a special person and a family to do this. Children need people in their lives like you. And she said, wow. And she just wanted to congratulate you on the work that you're doing. And Vera says, say that, Nadia. Say that. Yes. Closing comment from you, Felice, and then we're going to have our final word from Kern.
I just want to say that being a trailblazer is someone who is not afraid to step out of the box and be a pioneer. And that's something that we've all learned from Kern over the years, but it's something that we all can take note of. It only takes you to get up one time to say, I'm going to make a difference today. So figure out what it is that God has for you and what your mission path should be, and go out there and trailblaze and do it. And if you are unsure of exactly the process to do it, you definitely want to make sure that you are at that level up summit, because you will learn so many nuggets to be able to walk in your gifts. And that's time2levelup.com.
Yes. And Kern, tell us your final comment. And then we're going to disconnect everybody, and we'll be seeing you because Kern's going to have the last word. So let me say this and we're going to be done. We'll see you tomorrow on Freestyle Friday. We have our experts that'll be popping in and sharing some expert advice with you. We can talk about topics that matter to you. So bring whatever topics you want to discuss. And we'll see you at 11 o'clock a.m. tomorrow morning right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Kern, tell people how they can get that book, Trailblazers Who Lead, Volume 2, and about your conference and your last words.
All right. Well, as far as getting the book, I highly suggest that you go to my co-authors, and the hard copy will be out here shortly. So you can actually pre-order from them and get your books from them. You can always go to my website, kerncherry.com, if you're not sure where to locate them. Again, this is kerncherry.com for Trailblazers Who Lead 2, #1 best-selling book in the series, #2. In addition, if you want to actually be a part of an anthology and share part of your story, the next anthology is Undefeated. 100 women. Yes. 100 women sharing the secrets of winning, right? It doesn't matter where you're coming from, whether you're a mom. You heard Nadia tell her story as a mom, and Kim as well, and Felice. You know, you can tell that. You can talk about your business, your career, whatever that win is. Now, we can't put everything in there, but we would love for you to share. And just imagine 100 women, the impact we can make together. So Undefeated, that is the next anthology. You go to undefeatedwomen.com, undefeatedwomen.com, and you can sign up today. That will be launched later, spring, summertime, close to May, June. And so we definitely are looking for 100 women to jump on board and be a part of that anthology. And then we'll feature them at Power Up Summit, which is coming up, powerupsummit.com. That's right. So anyway, look, y'all, definitely go to Level Up. We are dropping it. Yeah, the e-blasts are going out. The text messages are going out. And our ambassadors, Elite and all our ambassadors, are about to release who the iconic woman who will be featured at Level Up. You want to go and join right now at time, the #2, levelup.com. Hello.
Time to levelup.com. Have a great one, everybody. Wow. Y'all stay backstage for a second. Bye. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show.